Thought we had a plan for the music. Like we were supposed to keep me in with music. What's up, man? Episode 8 is live, and we just have to be very happy. In the spirit of Grammy, all Nigerian artists that has been nominated for the Grammys, we're kind of dedicating this show to you guys today, but especially because we are sampling Ashake's song as our intro. So turn it up for me a little bit. Let me just enjoy myself. Bitcoin is doing absolutely well. You're welcome to Das. Come on. You ready? Woo! You see that? You're welcome to Digital Assets Show, episode 8. The only show that takes you on that exhilarating ride of the fast paced crypto world. Bitcoin on top of the food chain is what we like to discuss here. And I'm very, very happy. Shout out to all of the Nigerian artists that have been nominated for Grammys. This is a beautiful one. We are always doing well every time we go out there to showcase what we have. We get the acceptance, not quickly in the beginning, but eventually when we get it, we dominate. So shout out to everybody from Burner Boy to Davido to Ashake, Star, all of them, CK, Thames. These are wonderful artists, and the ones I didn't mention. So yes, Bitcoin, all of you, make sure you buy Bitcoin with some of those money, right, that you're making. It's very, very important. And I know say if I don't carry that dollar now, come back home Nigeria, change down now, plenty naira, but still it's going to be operating under the debased economy. So you wanna edge that wealth with BTC. Having said that, inflation in Nigeria this day is about 30%. You can confirm what it is on your side. It might be 35%. Oh my God, it's crazy. And how much is $1 to Naira? And how much is one sat to Naira? Today, as we speak, $1 to Naira is almost 1,500 Naira. I don't know what it is on your side, but it's very, very interesting because the central bank has done something very unique, kind of trying to harmonize the market price. Let it be a willing buyer, willing seller type of demand and supply price system. And I think it's kind of going to balance eventually because the banks might end up selling dollar at the same rate with the black market. So somehow, some way, if they keep it this way, it's more like they're going head to head, going to war with the real cabal behind this dollar hike in our economy. I think it's a good one, but can we sustain it? Let's leave that to the experiment. Shout out to the CBN governor, and that's not me endorsing fiat anyway. So I have two special guests for you guys today. Very interesting people. But before I introduce them, let me tell you what Bitcoin price is right now. You ready? You want to know? In 2009, when Bitcoin first came to the surface of the internet on the 3rd of January, what did we have? It was about 16 naira for one BTC, just less of maybe $1. Of course, it wasn't up to 50 cents. I think it was about 0.03. Yes. 14 years after, still a baby, still under 18. 14 years, 15 years after, what's the price of Bitcoin today? Bitcoin are worth nothing. The price of Bitcoin today, as we speak, Saturday, the 3rd of February 2024, is 43,000 US dollar, 112. And what's the market cap of Bitcoin? The market cap of Bitcoin is $845 billion, 737 million, etc. What is the market cap of the biggest businesses in Nigeria operating under the Naira? Think about it. If you had put 1 million Naira in the bank, or even 10 million Naira in the bank, that 2009, that's Yatanwa's son. Yatanwa that sells Akara at the bus stop somewhere in Ogba. Her son dares to, invest in Bitcoin, maybe like bought 10 Bitcoin at 16 Naira. Let's say average of even 100 Naira each. That's about 1,000 Naira. What would you have today? Your 10 million Naira would have depreciated. Month on month inflation in Nigeria. It's not me. It's the real world economics that's telling you what it is. What will be the price of Gary bread today? It's crazy. So know what you're investing in, know what you're buying. And I'm not a financial specialist. I'm just one where I've done my research and I've come to bring you facts. If you think I have put out some mints, you can debunk it. There's a phone number on top of the screen. You can call me, reach out to me, ask me questions. Let's learn from each other, contribute to the show. We'll be very, very glad to hear from you. So, quickly, let's go to my guests. I have two special individuals. Yeah, I've had a chat with these people, and they're very smart people. When you read what come out of their stable, you will know that people are really thinking forthrightly when it comes to blockchain, crypto, and the future of digital assets for Nigerians. I really like it. So the first guest that I have is a blockchain. Wait, hold on. I need to address my guy properly. Yeah, the first guest I have is a blockchain investigation and intelligence service personnel. His name is Adebabyo Tiamiyu. He's featuring all the way from the diaspora. Please welcome my guy, Adebabyo, blockchain specialist, investigation specialist, intelligence specialist. That sounds like some FBI CIA thing, Abi.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome to my show. How does it feel? What's the weather over there? Where are you joining from? Actually, I know it's somewhere in the Europe.
Uh, I'm joining from Estonia, and I think currently we are probably 1 degree. Okay, 2 degrees. Yeah, still not that cold, but yeah,
Okay,
it's two
okay.
degrees.
Oh, that's good.
But we are managing.
Okay, okay, that's good. I like that. I like that. It's okay. You're welcome to the show. And
Thank you for
we
having
have
me.
another person. Is a young man, writes beautifully well. You can check him out. Very smart person. I'm going to mention his name now. And quickly, you can just go and do your research on LinkedIn. You'll see most of his content over there. His name is Simon Peter, and he talks about Bitcoin. He is a Bitcoin researcher. Simon Peter, wonderful writer. How are you, my brother?
Hello, once again. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much.
It's
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I love this show. I love this show. I love the work you're doing. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
I mean, we're doing this for Bitcoin, my brother. You're a Bitcoiner like myself. There's no Bitcoiner that is bigger than any Bitcoiner, no Bitcoiner that is lesser than any Bitcoiner. And you know that adoption work is one thing that really add to the value of Bitcoin for real. So this is my own way to take Bitcoin adoption to the next level, bringing it to the forefront of mainstream media so everybody can see that it is not a black market conversation. It shouldn't be under the carpet. This is supposed to be a federal executive council meeting conversation. We have energy that we flare, gas that we flare. We throw away, dissipate energy all the time all around this country, and we still don't have light. And we are not incentivizing that with Bitcoin mining. And that's why we are here, and we need money. We need foreign exchange. We can get what is bigger than foreign exchange when we mine Bitcoin. What do you think, my brother? So I'm just going to bring you guys straight into the conversation, and the first thought is going to be like this, right? This is not going to be like a question and answer kind of interview between us. I want us to have a tete-a-tete and try and pass out some information positively to our listeners and viewers at home. So I'll begin with you, Simon Peter, real quick in like 20 seconds. You want to tell people how you found Bitcoin, what you were doing before, and what you think of Bitcoin in general. You just have about, I think, maybe like 60 to 120 seconds, like 2 minutes. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for that question. First of all, I think the Bitcoin technology or the Bitcoin currency is something I'm super excited about. Yes. And the reason is because I know the value, understand how it works, and I know the capacity for Bitcoin to transform our financial system as we know it. I think I first came across Bitcoin, that was 2020 during coronavirus period. I was kind of reading Robert Kiyosaki book on Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and after reading the book,
Robert
I went online to
Kiyosaki.
yes, yes. I went online to join his community on Rich Dad and everything. And one day I saw an email message from him talking about Bitcoin, and immediately that just sparked something within me,
Wow. When was
sparked
this?
my interest.
When was this particular incident happening? When did this
So
particular
I
incident
think it's
happen?
So I didn't get you again. Sorry.
Oh, I said, when did this happen? You got an email from Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I got an email from him. That was 2020 during the coronavirus period. Yes,
Oh, this
and
guy.
in that email, it was talking about Bitcoin and the potential of it. And after reading that email, something it just sparked something within me, and since then, my interest in Bitcoin has been going up and going up. And yeah, I think that's how I came to hear about it the first time.
And what do you think about our fiat, Naira, Bitcoin and Naira? Since you have discovered Bitcoin, what has been your thoughts about Bitcoin and Naira, even Bitcoin and the dollar and the fiat system in general?
Okay, thank you. That was a very interesting question. Now, the thing is, I think the fiat monetary system, we have so many issues in the world currently. There is so many inflation all around the world, and people are suffering from currency debasement and everything. And one thing about the fiat monetary system is it gives a few central authority the power to manipulate the system, the power to
Wow, you can say
manipulate
that again.
the currency.
Go
Yeah, so
ahead.
it gives the, sorry?
Go ahead. No, no, I'm just chatting with you. Go ahead. We're having a conversation
Okay,
now.
okay,
So as they talk, when they
okay.
enter, and they buttress them.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think one thing, the solution that Bitcoin tends to offer, it takes this power away from the centralized system. And if we check about all the monetary problem we have in the world, the inflation, places like Nigeria, Venezuela, Ghana, and Egypt, you find out that are suffering from double-digit inflation. Yes, and people are losing the purchasing power of their money. Imagine I store money in the bank, maybe I have 20,000 naira in the bank, and last week 20,000 can get me, let me say, a half bag of rice, but this week it can no longer get me. So the one of the
Crazy.
reason, the main cause of that issue is as a result of constant currency debasement, and when the central bank and the central system tend to manipulate the system. So one issue that Bitcoin tends to solve is to take this power from central authority and give it back to the people. Yes, that's one of the major issues that I love that Bitcoin is actually solving in the world today. So in terms of Naira, to relate that stuff in Naira, we can see what is happening in our currency today. Our currency has lost about 98% of its value in less than 1 year. While in the same period, Bitcoin has gained
Mado,
about more than
Mado,
100.
crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, while at the same
You're rocking the
time,
floor with the facts. Go ahead, my brother.
now in the same time period, Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin has moved actually more than 100%. And so, and not just 1 year alone, not just this year, historically, Bitcoin has proven to be negatively correlated to fiat currency. When fiat currency is debasing both the US dollars and everything, the value of Bitcoin tends to go up. So that's something super exciting about Bitcoin.
Awesome. Well said. I mean, I don't have any other thing to add to that. You're properly orange pilled Bitcoiner. Thank you very much. Hold your thoughts. Let me talk to Adebabyo. Adebabyo, you heard everything that Simon just laid on the table about Bitcoin and the difference against fiat. And you are in the intelligence investigative room. Now, cryptocurrency is taking over the globe when it comes to monetary conversation. Bitcoin on top of the food chain. Are you for Bitcoin adoption, especially in Nigeria, all over Africa? If yes, how do you think, and if no, obviously you can stop it. The adoption is going to go ahead anyway. But how then do you think that people can be assured and reassured of being safe, engaging with this apex cryptocurrency called Bitcoin? Because now the adoption of Bitcoin has been made easy, especially in the US, with the spot Bitcoin ETF that launched about 2 weeks ago. 11 of them, from
Yeah.
BlackRock to ARK to, I mean, many of them, I mean, is it Bitwise? Yes. Grayscale. And they even have exchanges as their custodial platform. For example, Coinbase. So now look at our own climbs, right? Those modalities are not happening yet, but the adoption has been made easy. People can connect through apps that are that are interoperable already with these foreign uh, uh, financial institutions. So, how do you think people can be reassured? What steps should people take? What message should be going out? In general, speak to Nigerians in that manner that will give them confidence. If you agree, and if you don't, just to protect them, engaging with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in general.
Yeah, thank you once again for this opportunity. And I think just to continue from where you stopped, or just to answer your questions straight ahead, yes, I am all for Bitcoin. I'm all for cryptocurrencies. I'm all for what the blockchain technology has to offer. And with regards to Nigeria, and I think Nigerians themselves are actually in line with some of those adoption. They love it, albeit it might not be as widely accepted as it is in other climes, maybe from the regulations point of view, or maybe from generally from like a government perspective, it might not be the same thing. But regardless of that, I think the populace themselves can be assured by number one, understanding some of the security impacts or some of the security positives that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency brings into the foray generally. Number one, the fact that it is transparent. There are a lot of fintech companies that today are nowhere to be found in Nigeria, probably because someone hacked their system and then the money had disappeared and then it had moved from one bank to another and then it is
Go there, go right
largely
there.
untraceable.
Hit the nail. Go right there. That's where I want you to go.
Largely untraceable, but with regards to cryptocurrencies generally, with just looking at what exists on the blockchain and many of the regulated services that actually operate on the blockchain, it is very, very easy for you to trace when an illicit activity of that nature has happened. And I think just looking at it globally from a global perspective, recently one of the blockchain analytics company reported that there was an instance where terrorist financiers were using cryptocurrencies to sort of like finance terrorism activities in Middle East, and then based on the fact that it was done on the blockchain using some cryptocurrencies, they were easily traced, they were arrested, and then some of those crimes which could have led to like each problem in Middle East sort of like being curbed. So with regards to security, cryptocurrency is going to do a lot of things. With regards to assurance on being able to trace activities or even being able to manage activities, those things are possible. And I'm not just going to talk about like how good and how perfect it is. Regardless of how cryptocurrency is and how interesting and how bountiful the opportunities are, there are obviously like bad actors within this space also. And I think one major thing that essentially people should do is to read more, to sort of like attend or be part of programs like yours, where some of these things are being shared, where this information are being shared. You talk a lot about shitcoins, and I think I'm very sure even when people do not know about shitcoins, merely hearing from you, they will sort of like want to know what are shitcoins. So those are some of the things that people should be aware of within the space. But generally, cryptocurrency is here to stay. Bitcoin is here to stay. Regardless of Nigeria is doing fairly well now in terms of regulations, trying to bring in some of these new things. But I think regardless of even the regulation itself, in the nearest future, Bitcoin will be a mainstream commodity within the ecosystem.
So if people are going to be engaging with Bitcoin, regardless of whether regulation have arrived or not, I believe regulations have arrived. They're not perfect. The SEC with their VASP guideline. VASP, for those that are watching us and don't know, is Virtual Assets Service Provider. So there is like a license that is going to be issued to anybody that will be selling cryptocurrency in Nigeria, because now cryptocurrency is allowed in Nigeria. You can buy and sell Bitcoin with your bank account. Making the year is fact. It's not scam. It's not fraud. Though there are people that will be engaged in fraud and scam. That's why the government is trying to mitigate these things. And it's true. These guidelines are out. So I'm going to ask you again, Adebabyo, to tell me from your own experience, what are the problems that people face, day-to-day problems that people face interacting with Bitcoin and every other thing on the blockchain that have to do with monetization? I mean, a whole lot of shit coins. And of course, advantageously, digital assets on the blockchain, engaging with it. What security measures should you take? How do we identify what is being used for terrorism, to make sure that a platform is not engaging in terrorism financing or money laundering, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's a very good question. And I think I'm going to start off from some of the things that government, because regardless of how we want to play it, there is a big part that government has to play. There's a big role government has to play in all of these things. So big ups to SEC, big ups to CBN on some of the guidelines they've sort of put out regarding cryptocurrency adoption within the country. But aside of that, one of the things which I see is going to happen in the nearest future is literally what has happened within the banks. There was a time where CBN brought out this regulation or this requirement rather that all Nigerian banks had to be certified to a certain level of standardization when it comes to their IT infrastructure. Currently, SEC and CBN is saying, for now, we need you to be licensed. We want to know the number of players in this space that are domiciled in Nigeria or sort of like catering for Nigerian consumers. That is perfect. But down the line, there's going to be another set of like requirements or regulations that is going to come in and say, we want you to have this level of framework or this level of standardization when it comes to your cybersecurity exposure, when it comes to how you monitor your finance, how you monitor transaction, and how you sort of like cater to ensure that your platform or your system is not being used for money laundering or terrorist financing.
Makes sense.
Things like that will definitely occur. So when things like that occur, that is on the part of the government to actually do. But when it comes to individuals themselves who want to like interact with like DeFi platforms or just generally like a blockchain or any crypto assets in that regard, the first things first is if it's too good to be true, then it's probably not true.
Run away from
it. Run away from it. Nobody, no platform is going to promise you a 50% increase day in, day out because who is doing that? Where is the money coming from? Where is the liquidity coming from? Run away from some of those things. Apart from that, the other thing also, which are a bit technical, but not necessarily technical, is the fact that people are very trusting. And then there's the aspect of social engineering to some of these things. Many of the scams that happen from a certain type of cryptocurrency, then you get a certain return in a certain ROI in a very short period of time. And some of those are like very open, easily accessible scams that you don't even need to have technical skill set to be able to carry them out. But with the advent of like, just social engineering and then services that are being even offered on the blockchain, like you can even buy a website, a complete website, and you just change the logo and then have it as like an exchange. Albeit it's just literally like a fake website at the end of the day. So the things that people need to focus on, number one is, I would say, if it's too good to be true, then it's probably false. Number two is learn about the space. There's a difference between I have cryptocurrency and I trade cryptocurrency than to I understand the blockchain technology behind it. Some people have lost funds, but albeit they still do not understand that some of these things are traceable. These are some of the requirements. These are some of the steps you can take. You don't keep all of your funds on hot wallets. It's not done. It's the same way you have a bank account. You have a domiciliary account. You have a savings account. You have a current account. Your savings account is safe. It's for saving. That's like a blockchain equivalent of like a code wallet. Put your
Mm-hmm.
funds, put some of those funds there.
Mm-hmm.
Your hot wallet could be like an exchange or a MetaMask or some of those
So
particular
so so it's
infrastructures.
better to
Put
put it
some
in
of
a
those
cold
funds there.
wallet.
Yeah, yeah. So the things you're not interacting with, you're not using, put them there. When it comes to general security practices, use 2FA, use multi-factor authentication. Thanks to God, in Nigeria, we don't have many issues around SIM swap.
Mm-hmm.
US have that a lot, but you can use 2FA. You can use a Google Authenticator. You can buy even the hardware version, like a YubiKey, that sort of like protects you from your account getting hacked. Even if I have access to your password, because you have a 2FA already involved, I can't move out your funds. I can't move out
Good.
your crypto asset. So
Good.
these are some of the things that Nigerians or the populace needs to be aware of.
Good. Thank you very much. You put out lots of knowledgeable tidbits, cautious steps right there. And I hope people got it right. So we're going to go for a quick break. Simon Peter and Adebabyo Tiamiyu will still be with us. You are watching me from your television screen. Just know that we are broadcasting to you all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Lekki, to be precise, Pop Central on DSTV, channel 189. I remain your host, Oluwasegun Koshemani, or you can call me Olu or Olu or Hasuelaji. Digital Asset Show will be right back. Stick with us. Do not go nowhere. Thank you very much. And welcome back to Digital Assets Show, your internet money podcasts. And this is Pop Central, DSTV channel 189. Quick one. Simon is still here, a Bitcoin researcher. And, while we were on break, I was just thinking of something because our time is fast spent for private reasons. I would just like to hit a few pain points, and I think that you can be able to help. The virtual asset service providers guidelines are out, definitely, so people will start getting licenses. I would like you to chime in a little bit. The price is about 30 million naira, 100,000 naira for the form. Then 30 million is what it requires. Then 500 million naira in working capital. You have to show that you have that 500 million naira in cash or in assets. Do you think home exchanges can afford this? Or do you think we're going to be flooded with foreign exchanges? That's one. That's the question I would like to ask you. I would like to ask you a follow-up question if you can match the two of them together, which is the BDC and their accusation about the cryptocurrency issues with the naira. But let's pen that one right now because we don't have a lot of time. And you go with the first one, virtual asset service provider and the affordability for Nigerian exchanges, especially for Bitcoin adoption. Do you think it can truly be localized, or we're going to have a bunch of ETF or Western-sponsored companies coming to milk the market here? You have the floor, brother.
Okay, let me just share my thought about what I think about them. So the thing is, VAPS is, I saw the guidelines and everything, and I think it's actually a kudos to SEC and CBN. I think we're on the right path. Yes, we're on the right path on that. Because the last time there was a lot of restriction, regulatory, lack of regulatory quality in the space. I think it stopped a lot of companies from coming into Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria has a very large Bitcoin market. Yeah, to be honest, we have we are one of the highest adopters of Bitcoin in the entire world. So a lot of companies are looking for communities or countries like this, Nigeria, where they can go to. They have already a large number of people that have a great understanding of Bitcoin. So the last time that CBN kind of put all those restrictions and everything to discourage those companies from coming in, I think a lot of companies, because of lack of that regulatory quality, they have to approach it more carefully. And that, in other words, stopped a lot of them from moving in. For example, now in Hong Kong, because of their regulatory quality and everything like that, a lot of companies move over there. Yes, in less than 1 year, they have about 700 Bitcoin and blockchain companies sprung forth in less
Which
than 1 year.
definitely would have
So
somehow, some way added positively to their economy over there.
Yes, yes, that's it exactly. Providing more jobs and bringing in forex and everything into the country. So I'm happy with the fact that CBN and Nigerian SEC are actually realizing the importance of this technology and the opportunities it can present to Nigeria. So that's a good start. And when I saw the recent post about Nigerian Bureau de Change closing
They
because
have
of
reopened.
cryptocurrency, and
I think they just
at a
got
good
scared a little bit and accused the cryptocurrency
yeah,
system that
at,
they're the ones making the dollar maybe scarce or go up in price or crazy. I mean, what was your thoughts and what would be your
yeah,
opinion on that
it's
matter?
it sound to be honest, it sounds so funny when I heard it because I can't wrap my head about the correlation between the both of them. I was like, how? And now, to be honest, let me the way it is the Nigerian Bitcoin market, although we have been growing very well, recent data for Chain analysis showed that our last year trading volume in the P2P market was about $56 billion. So it's actually a growing field. The Nigerian Bitcoin P2P market is actually growing very well. But Forex and Nigeria Bureau Exchange attributing the reason for dollar scarcity to that was something that I couldn't wrap my head around because the Nigerian P2P market is actually a tiny fraction of the entire forex market in Nigeria. So, and we have a lot of stuff are causing dollar scarcity here in Nigeria, and that doesn't have to do with crypto. Yes, we are an import dependent nation. We import most of our things, so dollars are always living. According to some recent report by JP Morgan not too long ago, it shows that our dollar reserves is very low. Although CBN was kind of refuting the claim, but I think JP Morgan was right about that.
But you know,
Nigeria,
don't you think that the BDCs and the crypto uh, business market can interoperate?
okay, if it's like they affect the BDC like and bureau the chain market, is that what you're asking
No,
me?
I'm saying, don't you see a synergy coming,
Yes,
or
yes, I
possible?
think yes, yes, of course. But currently now, the fact that the Bureau de Change was actually kind of they were kind of propagating a false narrative. That's what I think. Now,
Yeah,
the thing is,
more
the
like you know, breeding a false narrative is what you call it. And let me tell you
yes,
something. But you know, I have a very strong relationship with the Apex uh, Association and the president of the association, and
okay,
he understands that that's not the case, and his opinion has changed, and I believe that he's trying to advocate for something more progressive for the association now that it's not like the Naira's Waterloo was caused by either cryptocurrency sector or maybe even the BDC members. So, but because time has gone, I would like you to hold on to your thoughts. Hopefully, we're able to come back to you. Let me quickly touch up on Adebabyo. Adebabyo, real one. We were talking about Bass, myself and Simon Peter. You know, I'm rushing this because
Yeah.
of my time. What do you think that you already spoke about suggestions for the government. You spoke about what people should do. Do you think that the adoption of Bitcoin and the spread of digital assets, with the fact that the government is involved now, the government wants to make revenue from it by taxing it, needs proper cushion with intelligence reports, with security education? Can this birth new jobs? Can human capacity be developed in these areas? Can cyber experts, cyber security experts, pivot or even add to their knowledge blockchain and cryptocurrency security knowledge or certification? Is it what everybody have to pay attention to? Because whether you like it or not, in my own opinion, I think we all interact with cryptocurrency like we interact with the internet. So I'm asking you of your mindset. Can you paint me a picture of how you see this?
Uh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, you have to
And
do that quickly
I'll
because
touch.
we don't have a lot of time. You have to do that quickly, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I'll quickly touch on what you were talking about regarding VASP and their payments and the payment fee, rather. So I think one thing we are missing out of it is that generally many of these cryptocurrency companies can decide to actually merge and form a stronger, larger corporation or business entities that can actually stand all of these requirements that they are sort of like putting out there. So that was on that one. And then to touch on the questions you've asked, generally, yes, definitely. Cyber experts currently existing in the space, intelligence report analysts, open source intelligence analysts, regardless of whatever you are doing in the current workspace, can definitely be sort of like transition into the Web3 space and then help any of these companies that are looking for exposure within the space. So yeah, if you're a cybersecurity expert, yeah, if you're a trainer, these are some of the things which at Batch 32 we're obviously touching on in terms of like teaching many of these banks on how to actually improve their businesses and processes around blockchain products within the Nigerian ecosystem and the Nigerian guideline. And also in terms of training, in terms of like, oh, how can you trace transactions on the blockchain, giving out those trainings, and even help them investigate some of these particular illicit activities that occur on the blockchain. So definitely all of these skill sets from whatever scenario or system or industry, yeah, is obviously worthy of actually transitioning into the blockchain ecosystem. So yeah, it's going to increase capital markets, it's going to increase jobs, it's going to increase even products, influencers, all of these things, all of these people are definitely going to come into this space. And I see a good turnaround for Nigeria in that regard.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. When we are doing exploits, time go very fast. So we're about to round up. I would like to ask you guys of your last words. Definitely, I would like to bring the both of you again. But then let's just have this last word conversation. Simon Peter, my brother, Bitcoin, not crypto. That's how we say it. You know where we stand. If you're a maxi like me. So do you want to give people real quick why Bitcoin and not crypto? Of course, Bitcoin is the apex cryptocurrencies. Why have you chosen to be a Bitcoin educator? Because all over your LinkedIn is so much Bitcoin knowledge. And what would be your advice to everybody out there that definitely somehow, somewhere interact with cryptocurrency either via direct P2P buy and sell, OTC, or cross-border remittances, or earn it? What would you leave with them on this platform? We are being watched in most of the West African countries, and you have a platform now to, in mass, touch the lives of people with your message about Bitcoin. So you have the floor, my brother.
Okay, and thank you very much for that question. And first, I don't have any issue against crypto or the technology itself. I see the technology as something that has the potential to also contribute to different aspects of our life. But I choose to focus on my content, on my analysis on Bitcoin, because aside the fact that apex currency, I feel I understand Bitcoin better, yes, and that autonomy that it offers people, that potential it has to remove all the bad effect of the fiat monetary system and give the power back to the people and make people to have dominion over their finance. That's what I love about Bitcoin, yes. But I don't have any issue about cryptocurrency and the likes. But that's the main reason why I choose Bitcoin. Now, Nigerian ecosystem is already adopting Bitcoin a lot of time, which is fantastic. But I think we still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go. And aside even Nigeria, all over the world, the fiat monetary system has proven not to be sustainable over time, over the years. Our currency all over the world, both dollars, Argentina pesos, and everything has been devaluing at a very rapid rate. So Bitcoin has the opportunity to take us back to a very good monetary system, just like what gold did. Yes, during the gold era, we hardly have issues like this because before the government to be able to print money, there must be an equal backing of gold. So we had a tighter monetary policy, and I think Bitcoin has the potential to take us back to that era. Most of the problem we are having in the world currently is because of the kind of the money system we are using, poverty and everything, a loose money system, and with Bitcoin, we'll be able to go back to that era. So that's my motivation and that's my dream, to make sure I educate as many people as I can about Bitcoin, because it has the power to stop currency debasement and inflation and everything.
It has the power to stop cryptocurrency debasement. You have to leave it at that, my brother. Wonderful. Thank you for gracing the show. You spoke well. I like the fact that you touched on Bitcoin scarcity and the fact that it is finite. Even you can compare Bitcoin to gold, but unlike gold, you can still mine gold, but it's very expensive to mine gold, and the insecurities and that's and the bloodshed, when it comes to mining of gold. We're not going to touch upon that today, but it's been a wonderful time. Thank you very much for coming, my brother. Bitcoin is not gold. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. And lastly, Adebabyo, you have 30 seconds to give us your final take-home knowledge. What should we be looking forward to in our part of the world as Black people, as Nigerians, as Africans? What should be the take-home words of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency from the stable of somebody who is a blockchain intelligence specialist?
Yeah, definitely. I think beyond the fact that Bitcoin and its monetary value, cryptocurrencies generally and its monetary value, and some of the other things we can obviously look out for also is the security of some of these particular products we bring into that particular ecosystem. Be it like an exchange, a custodial service, OTC, regardless of whatever you're building, and you're building around Bitcoin or you are building around blockchain generally. I would say this to like the populace that are building or doing something in that regard, consider security and compliance as part of the founding knowledge or part of the founding activities you are doing in building any of these products. Regardless of how good and fancy and how well your products would be, if compliance is missing, if security is missing, you are literally opening up your products to future acts and future mistakes that you could have avoided right from the time that you are building. And at Bit 32, that's something we are willing to help with.
Thank you very much. I love the way you sync Bit 32 with everything. Time well spent. Thank you, Pop Central. Thank you to all the viewers. I couldn't take calls today. I think from next week I'm going to start taking call. I remain your host, Oluwasegun. Shout out to my two special guests, Simon Peter and Adebabyo Tiamiyu, and everybody that's been a part of this. Repeat episode 3 times during the week. You can find that across my social media handle and Pop Central social media handle. We will see you another time. Digital Assets Show will not stop airing all through the week until we come back. Same time next week, Saturday. Udabo.